Hello friends and welcome back. So today we are working in this self-love journal. It's going to be our first prompt. Here I've just gathered a few things. I have a journaling card that I made, and I have some stickers, some ephemera, some paints. But our first prompt is going to be centered around self-compassion. I really do believe that for you to be able to practice self-love in a way that is nourishing or restoring is through self-compassion. It's kind of like compassion is the door to which you can access self-love. And we'll get more into this as we move along in this journal, but that's just for starters. That's what we're starting with and what we're thinking about as we're gathering our things. So this first spread in your journal is going to be a safe place for you to indulge in those practices and things which you use to show yourself love in a non-judgmental, no guilt way via journaling. And so here I'm going through the magazine. I personally show my self-love in ways that maybe are not considered healthy, or maybe they are unconventional, or there's a stigma attached to it. But what I want you to keep in mind as you're working through this prompt is that what anyone outside of you thinks does not factor into this. So you're going to see me pull some images about shopping, some images about coffee. You're going to see me use stickers in here. I'm going to pull in some Halloween stuff because that is a hyper interest for me, hyper fixation. I love anything Halloween. I always have. So I'm going to fill these pages with the things that make me happy and the things that I use to show myself love. And let's say that maybe something that you do for yourself, there is a bit of guilt attached there, and you feel sort of not apprehensive, but like maybe, let's say, like I love shopping, but I buy this stuff and then I get the stuff, but I feel like that buyer's remorse, we're not going to factor that in this, because one of the things about self-compassion is why is there guilt attached to that? If you initially had love for the thing that you purchased and you initially felt happy and you received it and you were excited and you took it out of the box and you found a home for it within your house or your apartment, where's the guilt coming from? So I want you to think about that. If you have any kind of guilt issues or just ick, I call it ick, we use very kind of second grade terms here. If you have a certain ick about something that you use to show yourself self-love, why? Where is that stemming from? So there's a little bit of shadow work in here for those of you that don't know what shadow work is. And shadow work, we look at the ugly and we try to dig in there and kind of clear out all the debris that's sort of trapping that dark spot in there that's keeping us kind of plugged in to a certain feeling that isn't necessarily positive or good for us. So just something to keep in mind. I know I've babbled on and on. In the meantime, I have put some paint on here and I'm just going to let it dry a little bit before I start sort of figuring out where I'm going to place everything. But yeah, that's a very long-winded explanation, but that is the gist of this. So here I'm gonna do the same technique that I did in the initial setup video, which is punch some holes into this journaling card. Now I made a bulk amount of these, and I chose this one specifically because I feel like it represents sort of that mixed emotion that we have with things that we may feel like we don't deserve. Sometimes a part of that self-compassion is accepting what is, and accepting that if you have this, or if you were able to obtain something, or if you were able to provide something to yourself in the name of self-love, that you are worthy of that, that you are deserving. And I feel like sometimes there's a lot of mixed emotion in there, and this journaling card really kind of encompasses that for me. So you can use a journaling card if you want, you don't have to. I'm gonna use it later to sort of write a little affirmation for myself. But here I'm cutting the coffee out. So some of the ways we may show ourselves love is via what people consider vices, you know, like coffee and smoking. I'm not trying to trigger anyone. And so part of this prompt is recognizing that maybe some of the things that you are currently using are not healthy and not serving your higher self. And so you recognize that. You're not judging, you're just recognizing it in a self-compassionate way. You know that it's something that you want to change moving forward, and you want to work towards providing yourself something that will serve your higher self. Okay, so that's enough about the whole concept. We're going to talk more about what I'm doing here as far as it relates to my own self-love, self-compassion journey. So I'm going to start sort of placing things here on the page. I'm more like in a flow state at this point. I'm not really thinking too hard about what goes where. I just kind of am piecing things together little by little. I've got my shopping, I've got my coffee, and yeah, we're just gonna kind of place everything. I sort of decided to make the left side of the page sort of Halloween-ish themed. So a lot of the Halloween ephemera is going on this side, and then a lot of like the shopping other stuff is going on the right side. And I found this little saying in the magazine that says, "Thanks, it's new." And it's because one of the ways I show myself love is I love new things. I love new supplies. I love new everything. Is just that excitement of having something new to play with and work with or wear, or, you know, or try. So I thought that was perfect. And then I sort of want to grab some of these stickers. I got these at Five Below. They're Hatsune Miku. So I picked a few of those that I thought fit the vibe, and then I found one where she looks really sort of like, not angry, but like very judgmental. So I'm gonna use that one too. It's this one right here. She just looks very sort of like very like miffed at like, why do you like this stuff kind of thing. But don't worry, we're gonna take care of her a little bit later. So I'm happy with how this looks. I'm not really worried about aesthetics, honestly. I just wanted to create a story, and I'm happy with how that story is looking. So I'm gonna go ahead and start committing and gluing this stuff down, and then we're gonna meet right back here once we're done with all of that. Okay, so we've reached the glitter gel portion of this video, and I found these ones called icons. And so instead of like chunk glitter, it has like little sequins that are shaped like different things. So this one is purple, and it's got little purple hearts, super cute. So I'm pretty much just gonna glop this everywhere. I don't really have any rhyme or reason. I'm kind of going into the spaces where it doesn't really have an image. And then on the other side, we're going to trap our little judgmental fairy in some glitter gel. So I'm going to kind of create a little barrier around her, and then I just kind of just put it all over her to kind of signify, like, you know, no judgment zone. We're not allowing judgment in here. Okay, so we're gonna let this dry, and we're going to come back and write our little affirmation and stick our journaling card into our journal, and hopefully everything will be set by then. So I'll see you in a few. Well, wouldn't you know it, I was not recording when I did this whole thing. So here, I'm going to just turn it and let you guys read it. Basically, I'm saying that I recognize of any changes that need to happen regarding how I practice self-love, but it's a non-judgmental sort of just awareness about it. And so here I'm showing you the glitter. It's all dried and pretty, and then our friend here is trapped, but we're gonna go ahead and do some detail with an acrylic marker, which I have in my hand, and I want to draw sort of a double barrier around her. So I'm just going to do this I don't know, an arch, double it, and then draw little lines to kind of signify or show that I'm keeping her contained, and by her I mean my own judgment and the judgment of other people, although that doesn't really bother me as much as my own. But yeah, and then I'm just gonna add some color because that top left corner is looking a little blah for me personally, and also this other big white space right here. So this is gonna be it, guys. We're almost at the end. I hope you enjoyed this first self-love journaling session. There's gonna be 2 more, and yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.